Hey, it's the Wrestling Snob, Adam Lavelle, here to talk about Pro Wrestling Noah's Sunny Voyage from early this morning, April 6th, 2025. Terrific show. Really enjoyed this, as I do almost all Pro Wrestling Noah shows. Let's jump into it. Like I said, I don't like to waste your time. The first match was Shuji Kondo taking on Daiki Odashima in a match that this was a perfect match to kick this show off. It was exciting. It was edge of your seat gripping stuff. Why? Because Daiki Odashima is the man. Now he isn't winning. He's in the part of his career as a young boy, a young lion, if you will, to steal a New Japan term, where he's just not going to win matches. He's going to put on good shows. He's going to show you that he belongs. He's going to show you that he's rough and gritty and just can hang with the best of them. But he's not winning. He didn't win this 9-minute match. But Daiki Odashima can put on a match where you know he's the loser. You know he's not going to win, but it's still must-see pro wrestling. This kid, he excites me more than a young up-and-comer has in any Puresso system in quite some time, maybe since Gabe Kidd. Okay? They're not the same type of wrestler. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying Daiki Odashima is going to be huge. It's going to start with the light heavyweight division. He's going to own that division in a couple of years. And then if he can gain some weight, which he is a pretty small guy, but if he can gain a little bit of weight, I think he can own the heavyweight division. He's incredible. He is a wrestler's wrestler. So that means the wrestling done right guy, the wrestling snob, is going to like a guy like that. And boy, do I'm hyping him up. I'm putting him on that pedestal. I think he's the next big thing in all of pro wrestling. I really do. He loses here to Shuji Kondo. How does that make sense, Adam? Trust me. Watch this kid. He's amazing. But Shuji Kondo gets the win with a Boston Crab. Next, we had a 6-man match. Atsushi Katogi, Hajime Ohara, and Mohamed Yone took on Black Menso-Ray, Takashi Zagura, and poor Shuhei Taniguchi. I fast-forwarded this. I always watch the end so I can report on the end. And the good thing about this match, if you don't know, I don't like Black Menso-Ray. I'm not crazy about Taniguchi. And I love Segura. Segura's a kick-ass, badass, cool mother effer, if you will. But the good part was, at the end of this, Black Menso-Ray had annoyed Segura to the point that Segura just beat him up, stepped back, and allowed Katogi to get his finisher on and pin him 1, 2, 3. Not only did he let him pin him 1, 2, 3, Sugi got down there with the ref and counted 3 with him, and then picked up Black Menso-Ray and tossed him out of the ring. That was I didn't watch the match, so I can't say it's the best part of the match, but I loved that. Glad to see it end that way. I fast forward Black Menso-Ray matches because I'm just not into a clown, a goof, being heavily involved in Noah. It depresses me. It makes me sad. But at least this was a fun ending. Then we had Asuka and Junta Miyawaki, the new junior tag team champions, in a non-title match, take on Alejandro and Harutuki of All Rebellion. So we had All Rebellion taking on the new junior tag champs, and this was a terrific back-and-forth tag team match that looked like Alejandro and Harutuki could step up and become top contenders. Winning this match would have helped them claim that, which they did not do. Asuka and Miyawaki win it, but they still stake their claim as one of the top teams. Look, Alejandro is great. I really like him with his brother most of all, that being Kai Fujimura. But I really like Harutuki as well, and this team worked, and I wouldn't mind seeing it going forward. But I like Harutuki in singles matches as well. I think he's a rising star. I'm not putting him on Odashima's level, but I think he could be somewhat of a big deal moving forward. He's got a look. He's got great wrestling skills, and I'd like to see him compete in some top-level matches. But I think, for now, Alejandro and Harutuki stake their claim as belonging in the tag team division. The next match was an 8-man tag team match. I don't love these matches, even though the wrestlers in Noah are great. But it's such chaos, typically. 8 people in the ring, plus the ref is 9. It's just, a bunch of this going on at all times. But this saw the Passionate Rattels, Hayata, Manabu, Soya, Saxon, Huxley, and Yohei. What an interesting team the Passionate Rattels are, especially since adding Saxon Huxley. I mean, we've got High Flyers, we got the Rattels, we got Manu Busoya and the Wild Man Huxley. I mean, this is a hodgepodge mix. Not saying it's bad, but it is definitely interesting. They took on a young kid I like a lot, Bryce Hanson. I said Bryce Hanson looked like, like he's a member of the Armstrong or the Anderson family, or like those two families got together and bore a child, and out came Bryce Hanson. But he teamed with Null, the big giant black man. I mean, he not quite as big as Osmos, who was over there from WWE for a few months, but quite large. Masa Kitamiya and Naomichi Marufuji. So this was an interesting matchup. I mean, this just saw immediately Null and Manabu Soya went at it. They fought the whole entire match. Matter of fact, as the match was ending, they're fighting out the back door into the back of the arena. So I think we're going to see something going on there. I mean, it was Saxon Huxley and Null. I think we're going to see something there. They're both two huge men. I think we're going to see them fight for some time. But as the match went on, it was the Passionate Rattels who were able to overcome, pinning my man Bryce Hanson in an almost 11-minute match that was pretty good. But again, we're talking 8-man tag. Of course, it's going to be hectic and crazy, and the Passionate Rattels always lose their mind. We got a camera shake effect going on in their matches because they're trying to put over how wild, how passionate, how they just drive themselves crazy with the passion that they have for wrestling. And they win it here against Hanson, Null, Kitamiya, and Marufuji in a fun match. But again, I think this many man is just a little bit too much. Doesn't make it bad, just makes it a little bit too much. Then we had a singles match, which I was craving. Tadasuke took on Yuto Kikuchi, two former stablemates, two former friends, two former tag team partners. So instantly this started at 1,000,000 miles an hour. I'm not going to put it down for that. It makes sense. They instantly start attacking each other with everything they have. It's slowed down to a more normal paced match, but you have to understand that both of these gentlemen are part of the junior division, and the juniors have a reputation for being completely unstable, and that's what this match was, especially now since Tadasuke rebelled, if you will, turned his back on the Rattels, now the Passionate Rattels, and joined the dastardly Team 2000X, and is doing everything underhanded that he can, because that's what Team 2000X is about. They're about winning at all costs. And due to the interference here, due to, I think it was 2 ref bumps, gets a little bit crazy, gets House of Torture-ish, if you will, though not that bad, thank God. Tadasuke gets the win over Kikuchi thanks to numerous times of interference, numerous distractions from Team 2000. The Passionate Rattels came out and tried to help with that, but could only do so much because Team 2000X has perfected rule-breaking stuff. Their ability to act behind the ref's back, to distract the referee and use chairs and weapons and anything they can. And they've just perfected it. And it takes the faces, it takes the baby faces, it takes the team that is outside Team 2000X, great intelligence, and their head has to constantly be on a swivel here to overcome them. Kikuchi just came up a little bit short here at about 10.5 mark. Tadasuke gets the big win. The 6-man tag team matchup was next, which was a faction war. I always enjoy multi-man matches when they're about team versus team, if you will. And this saw Keno, Kenta, and Ulka Sasaki. This team doesn't have a name right now as far as I know, but they are a great faction. I mean, Keno, Kenta, and Ulka Sasaki, 3 wrestlers, my style of wrestlers, taking on Team 2000X, Owada-san, Ozawa, the GHC heavyweight champion, and Tetsuya Endo. This match went about 16 minutes, and it was everything you'd expect: a fight, a battle, a wrestling match. It was everything, switching back and forth. Of course, Keno and Kenta is going to kick the hell out of people. Ulka Sasaki is going to use his modified MMA style, methods, and ways. And Owada-san, Ozawa, and Endo are going to cheat every chance they get. There were, again, I think at least 2 ref bumps in this match, which sometimes can throw it off for me. Ref bumps, but here's the thing. Team 2000X purposely bumps the ref. They have a way of doing it to make it look like an accident, and make it look like a mishap, but it's not. They're targeting. They're looking for situations where they can toss one of their opponents at the ref when he's in the corner. You know, he's trying to stay out of the way. When he turns his back to admonish one of the teammates to stay in their corner, they throw a ref into him. Oh, he gets the wind knocked out of him, rolls around on the ground, and now they've got free reign to do whatever in the hell they want. But here in this situation, Keno, Kenta, and Ulka Sasaki kept up with it, saw it coming, and literally, at times, turned the tables, or table, if you will. At one point, Keno even picking a table up and walking it back to where Team 2000 stole it from. I believe it was Endos, and just set it back down and looked at them like, knock it the hell off, we're here to wrestle, you assholes. And wrestle is what Keno, Kenta, and Ulka Sasaki did. And when you combine the fact that they could keep up with what was going on and again turn the table, literally and figuratively, that gave them the big win here. Team 2000X goes down in the preview match of Keno versus Ozawa. And let me tell you, Keno showed us that he can be as gross, as disgusting, and as distracting as Ozawa can be. So their singles match is going to be something to see, just like this six-man match was. Big win for Keno, Kenta, and Sasaki. Then we're down to our last two matches, both title matches. The first GHC Junior Heavyweight title on the line. It was Eita, one of the best juniors in the world. You can't change my mind about that. I know it's a fact. Taking on the rising junior, the guy who's going to be at the top of this company in the junior division, as well as he climbs the ladder, Kai Fujimura, who looked like $1 million in this 13-minute match, looked like he could be our next champion, but just couldn't quite rise to Eita's level. That's no embarrassment because few juniors in the world can. Eita has dominated the Noah Junior Heavyweight division for years. The fans love him, whether he's a babyface or a heel, doesn't matter. The fans chant his name. Now, they were behind Fujimura as well, don't get me wrong. They were enjoying watching this kid challenge this veteran in this thrilling 13-minute match, again, that saw Eita retain. And after Eita retains, out comes two guys that want to be his next challenger. Tadasuke, who had just won his match against Kikuchi, and Yohei. They're coming out here. They both want to challenge. And it looks like it's going to come down to those two, Yohei and Tadasuke. The winner of Yohei and Tadasuke will go on to face Eita for the junior heavyweight title. That'll be some fun to follow along the way. And finally, the main event of Sunny Voyage from this morning was for the GHC tag team titles that were vacant. Even though Daga and Jack Morris have been carrying them around, you know, they had to be stripped of them. I think Jack Morris was hurt, got injured at one point, so the Noah put out there that they were vacant. But Daga and Jack Morris refused to give them up, held on to them closely, stole them away at the end of matches, would never turn them in, if you will. So they've been carrying those belts for some time. But they were taking on All Rebellion's Galeno and Kaito Kiyomiya, a team that has really begun doing something. Galeno, very, very young, but very, very big. Kaito Kiyomiya, one of the best wrestlers in all of Noah. So this has been a terrific combination. But look, Daga and Jack Morris, they seem meant for each other. I mean, they haven't been a long-term team. I think it's been a year or so, maybe a little more. But they look terrific. They did terrific, and it took 20 minutes to do it. But they overcame Galeno and Kaito Kiyomiya by taking out and pinning Kaito Kiyomiya. Now, it's hard to pin Galeno. He's such a big son of a bitch, you know, and I hate to compare him to Braun Strowman. That's not what I'm trying to do here. But he's just hard to take out and take down. I mean, if you're lucky, you can avoid being taken out and taken down by him, which Daga and Jack Morris did. But again, Team 2000 antics in here, chairs, tables, distraction, ref bumps, the whole thing. Now, typically, this wasn't until the end of the match, the last 5 minutes or so, until the Team 2000 antics played a difference in this. But they did, and this time, unlike their match against Keno, Kenta, and Sasaki, it paid off. They won. They win, but in their mind retain the GHC Heavyweight Tag Team titles. After this, out came Keno and Ulka Sasaki. We know Kenta is going for the GHC Heavyweight Championship, so here, the other two of that team, Keno and Ulka Sasaki, want to challenge for the GHC Heavyweight Tag Team titles. Of course, Morris and Daga sort of mock them and laugh at them, call them the YouTuber and the rookie, if you will. But the match, I'm sure, will be set up, and it will be a great one, just like this show was a great one. I'm giving this show a 9 out of 10. Why only a 9 out of 10? Look, anytime I got to put up with Black Mensure, That's going to happen. It's going to shave something, half a point, a whole point off of this show. I'm shaving a half a point out because in the end, Segura beat the shit out of him. I enjoyed that. What's the other half point for? No English commentary. What's up with that, Noah? I know you're working on a budget, and I know you don't want to blow big bucks, but man, you got to get Stu and Mark in here for more English commentary. This was a big show, 2 title matches. Come on. We got to get the English commentary. New Japan's killing you with that. I know New Japan has more money, but come on, how much money could it cost to have some more English commentary in here? I'd even settle if you do it for a day or two later. It would be recorded after this show was over. It would kind of suck because I like watching the shows as soon as I can. But if you give me English commentary, I'd wait a day or two. I really would. Those guys make a big difference. Great show, 9 out of 10. Can't wait for the next one. I'm Adam Lavelle, the Wrestling Snob, WrestlingDoneRight.com. Follow me on all my social media so you can be a part of the IIWC. That extra I is for intelligent, and I'll be back before you know it.